Okay, but it seems like we are already online. Just let me check. And yes, perfect. Buenos días a todos, bienvenidos el día de hoy. Tenemos una... But it seems like we are already online. Ok, estaba escuchando mi audio. Una disculpa. Buenos días a todos. Como siempre, es un placer para nosotros darles información vigente sobre los nuevos partners con los cuales trabajamos, las nuevas opciones para estudiar en el extranjero. Y el día de hoy en GEI tenemos a un partner que se llama Murdoch University, es para estudiar la universidad en Dubái. Nuestro compañero Bradley Farrow nos va a comentar todas las opciones que tenemos en cuanto a carreras, maestrías, en cuanto a los precios, beneficios de estudiar en Dubái, ¿no? Entonces, pues vamos a cambiar el idioma inglés, ya que Bradley va a hacer la presentación en inglés, ¿no? Hi, Bradley, how are you?
Hi, yes, how are you? I'm very well, thank you, and thank you for having me today.
No, it's our pleasure. I was just mentioning that you're going to do the presentation in English and that you're going to speak about the benefits of studying in Murdoch University. Also, you're going to speak about all of the bachelors that you offer, the masters, also about the visa or not visa process, the benefits of living in Dubai. So we are all ears. Tell us about Murdoch University in Dubai.
Amazing. Yes, thank you so much and a very good evening, or I think I should say good morning to everyone that's joining in Mexico today. Thank you so much for taking time out to find out all about our fantastic university here in Dubai. My name is Brad, and over the next kind of 30 minutes or so, as you've just heard, I'm going to cover lots of information about all of the amazing opportunities available here at Murdoch University. So we'll talk a little bit about the range of programs that we are offering, the fantastic scholarships that we have on offer, which are worth up to 50% of the tuition fees. We'll talk a little bit about what it's like to live here in the very international and diverse city of Dubai. And I just want to give you a very quick update on what is happening on the ground here as well with regards to COVID. I know this is going to be a very important question for you, and I'm sure it's taken over our lives over the last year, unfortunately. So hopefully I can give you some reassurance there in terms of day-to-day life here in the United Arab Emirates. So without further ado, the good news is that life is kind of back to normal here in Dubai. So as a prospective international student looking to come and move over and join us at Murdoch University, what that means for you is that you can almost live a kind of normal life like you would have done before coronavirus came into our lives. So there isn't any kind of lockdown going on here at the moment, and retail and tourism are pretty much fully open. Now, of course, we have some safety precautions in place, so wearing a mask and social distancing and so on. But otherwise, I don't really notice too many differences when it comes to living my life here in the UAE. And come September, all of our classes will be fully face-to-face and on campus. So what that means is that you can come back to that learning environment, interacting with your friends and academics, and getting a full university experience, which we are very, very excited about. Okay, so now just a little bit about Murdoch University, first of all. Now, some of you may be familiar with the name Murdoch University, others, it might be completely new. And of course, don't be fooled by my very British accent that you might be hearing over the internet today. Murdoch is very much an Australian university. So when you come and study with us, what you receive is a highly regarded, fully authentic Australian education. And actually, your final degree transcript comes from our main campus in Australia. It doesn't actually mention the specific location that you have studied. So you'll notice there that we have a campus in Singapore, as well as the one in Dubai. But when you receive your certificate, it will just say Murdoch University. So when you're applying for jobs and approaching companies, once your studies have come to an end, they're going to see the fully authentic Australian degree, and that's going to be internationally recognized as well. Now, the campus that we have here in Dubai is quite small. We have around 400 students, but actually our students really appreciate that because it means the classes are a little bit smaller. You'll see we have around 12 students on average in every classroom. So what that means is that you get a very valuable experience. You can easily approach your academic and your teachers in case of any queries or questions. And overall, it's a very welcoming and friendly environment to be in. And everyone is very much on first name terms. Now, you can also see that we were founded in 1976. So that does make us quite a young university when you compare us to other institutions around the globe. But despite being young, we have risen to be one of the top 100 young universities globally. So not only are you getting that very highly regarded Australian education, but you're also coming to a university with a very strong reputation as well. And the top 100 young universities, they rank universities under the age of 50 years old. So we are definitely one of the top within that field. You'll also see there that we have a 5-star rating when it comes to graduate starting salaries and the overall educational experience. And a little towards the end of the presentation today, I'll talk to you about what we're doing to assist you in getting where you want to be in your future career. Now, there's multiple entry options available at our university. So you'll notice that we have a foundation program here. So if you're completing 11 years of education, it is possible to actually come to the university and do a foundation program that is specifically designed to prepare you for university level teaching. But if you're completing 12 years, you can come and do the diploma program with us. And I'm going to talk about the specific entry requirements specifically for Mexico very shortly. But essentially, the diploma course is equivalent to the first year of your degree. The only difference is that you get a little bit more support from our academics just in that first year. And once you've completed that first year, you go straight into year 2 of the bachelor's degree, so you're not losing any time whatsoever. Now, what are we offering here at the university? Now, because we are a branch campus, which means we are a little bit smaller, the list of courses is a little bit more limited compared to the home campus over in Australia. But despite that, we do have fantastic options available related to psychology, business, communications, and IT at an undergraduate level. And then at postgrad, we have MBA programs, education programs as well. And you can see that we actually offer very specific majors within each of these subject areas. So rather than just coming to study business, you can get very focused in a particular area that you are passionate about. So you can come and study marketing or management, accounting, finance. And what's even better is that we also offer double majors at the university. And there's over 50 different combinations that you can actually study with us. And in the majority of cases, it doesn't actually cost you any extra money, and it doesn't add any extra time to your studies either. So what we're doing is we're just giving you that freedom to broaden your knowledge around your chosen subject. You know, why study business management when you can do management and marketing together for the same amount of time and the same amount of money? It's a no-brainer. Now, one of the big things that I wanted to talk to you today about was living in Dubai. I think for many students, Dubai is seen as a holiday destination or perhaps more of a tourist location. And I'm not sure how many people that are joining us today have been lucky enough to come to Dubai, but you might have some preconceptions. And actually, Dubai is a fantastic place to live, both as a student and someone like myself that's working here. And there's some fantastic opportunities upon graduation for you here in this global hub of Dubai. So what I want to do is play you a very short video now that will give you a little bit more of a taste of what Dubai is like. I hope it plays smoothly. I apologize if there are any issues with the internet, but you can also find this video on our YouTube channel. So please do check it out afterwards as well. But here's just a nice short video introduction to give you a little bit of a taster of what to expect when you get here in Dubai. So I'm just going to try and load this for you now. Okay, so I think already we seem to be experiencing some internet issues. If this is the case, then what I can do is hopefully play it for you at the end of the presentation, perhaps instead. I'll leave you with the anticipation of that. Okay, so the video doesn't seem to be playing, but no worries. I will definitely try and get that working for you at the end of the presentation. But instead of a video, how about some fantastic pictures of Dubai instead, just to give you a bit of a taste. And I think for a lot of people, and certainly my friends before I moved to Dubai, they kind of questioned why I wanted to move out to the middle of the desert. They didn't think that there was actually too much happening here. I think they thought it was a very strict country to live in. And certainly 50 years ago, that would have been the case. But today, Dubai is one of the most vibrant, modern, futuristic cities in the world. Very diverse, very multicultural. And you can see that we have over 200 different nationalities that are living here in the city itself. So when you come here, you know, you will make friends from all over the world. And there's so much to do here. It's a melting pot of kind of different cultures that are living. It's where East meets West, I would say, in terms of its position globally as well. And no matter what you're into, there's a lot to do. We have fantastic shopping facilities here for students, lots of very famous touristy places to come and visit. The Burj Khalifa, I'm sure, comes to mind, the tallest building in the world. And on one side, we've got the beautiful beaches. So I'm sure coming from Mexico and the further region, that's something that you'll be very keen to take advantage of. We have sunshine all year round, and then the beautiful Arabian desert on the other side, where you can go and take part in a lot of adventure type activities as well. So you certainly won't be bored. This area here is known as Dubai Marina. So a very popular location in Dubai. It's about 10 minutes from where our campus is located. So when you finish classes after a long day, you have so much on your doorstep that you can take advantage of. And you can see from these images just how picturesque and beautiful the city is, and the skyscrapers as well definitely catch the eye. So that's a little bit about Dubai, but why would you choose kind of to study here? You know, it's a great place to come and visit. There's a lot to do. So why would you choose to be a student here? Well, I think Dubai is becoming more and more of an educational hub. Whereas I said before that it was very touristy and a holiday place, actually now a lot of international universities are opening up their branch campuses here. And of course, it's not quite as far to travel if you are going all the way to Australia to complete your studies. Now, one of the key words that I would associate with studying in Dubai is flexibility. So already at the start there, you heard some information about the student visas. Now, the big thing to let you know about the visa situation is that it's very, very relaxed for international students. If you were looking to apply to go to America or Canada or even the UK or Australia directly itself, it's quite a strict process. You have to often show your bank statements, your financial documents to prove how much money that you have. If you've had a gap in your studies, so maybe a couple of years out of education, these can all be very important issues that could hinder your ability to get a student visa. Now, here in Dubai, none of those regulations exist. It's actually just a one-page application form that you fill out. You send us a copy of your passport, and then we process the visa on your behalf. We reach out to the immigration authorities, and usually within around 10 to 15 days, we receive your entry permit that allows you to come into the UAE and start studying here in Dubai. So that's something that gives you some reassurance. It's not a very complicated process, and we have a very, very low visa rejection rate. So you can almost have the peace of mind knowing that you will definitely secure that visa to come and study with us. Another big thing is related to safety. So in a recent report regarding the world's and the country's most safest countries, in the world, the UAE came out second So again, peace of mind in case there are any parents that are joining today. If you're sending your child abroad for the first time for their studies, that can be quite a scary and daunting prospect, but at least here in the UAE, you know that your child and that you as a student will be very, very safe. Bonus points if anyone can tell me what the #1 safest country is afterwards. But yes, this definitely gives you that extra reassurance. And you can safely walk around at night and very low crime rate and so on here, which is very pleasing and something that I've definitely seen since living here myself. One of the other big options available to you as a student is to potentially transfer to Australia. So anyone that's keen to go to Australia at the minute, I'm sure you'll know that the borders to the country have been pretty much closed since the coronavirus pandemic started. And we are expecting the borders to remain shut until at least early 2022. So rather than waiting around and seeing what's going to happen and delaying your education, you can kickstart your studies now in Dubai, getting the same authentic, highly regarded Australian experience. And then when the borders open up, if you want to transfer to Australia, we have a pathway scheme in place whereby we can facilitate that for you. And one last thing on this slide that I want to mention is about work opportunities. Now, I get questioned all the time by international students about whether we can guarantee you a job and whether you can work alongside your studies, perhaps to help finance your studies or maybe just for extra experience to add to your CV. And again, if you look at other typical study destinations like the UK, Canada and Australia, with your student visa, you're actually limited to the number of hours that you can work part-time. I think it's around 20 hours per week. But again, here in the UAE, that restriction does not exist. So you can work alongside your studies. If you're going over 20 hours a week, that's not going to be an issue. It gives you a bit more freedom to earn some extra money. Of course, we're not encouraging you to get a full-time job because you are here to study at the university, but it is going to give you some extra options and a bit more freedom to gain that experience. And I think we've already spoken about a lot of the points on this slide here. The fact that you are getting that authentic Australian degree, the choice to do double majors at no extra cost, the fact that Dubai is a central hub to other parts of the world. But one of the other things is that we do offer a fast track degree here as well. So if you're keen to get through your studies as quickly as possible, maybe to go into a master's degree or get out into the world of work, then we actually offer a 2-year option where you could technically complete your full bachelor's degree in just 2 years. And I guarantee there's not many other places in the world where you can actually do that. And actually, just last year, you'll see there from the Best Global Universities Rankings 2020, the UAE was actually voted as the #1 destination to study abroad. So we must be doing something right here in Dubai, and hopefully you'll be deciding to take advantage of that as well. So now I just want to share with you a few images of our campus. We actually moved to a brand new campus around 1 year ago, right in the middle of the pandemic. So we haven't actually had too many students that have been here on campus actually studying. But come September, as I mentioned, we are reopening our doors. We're going back to face-to-face teaching. So you could be one of the very first students to take advantage of this fantastic, modern, state-of-the-art facility that we have here, specifically designed for students. And as I mentioned before, Knowledge Park, just 10 minutes away from Dubai Marina, which is, again, one of the most popular areas of Dubai itself. Okay, so entry requirements very quickly. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because you can refer to this on our website. But in summary, we're looking for 2 main things in order to get into the university. One is your English language ability. The second is your academic ability. Other than that, we don't require a personal statement or references or anything like that. So it's quite a straightforward process. We're just looking for your English and your academic grades. So first of all, for English, you can see here the diploma course that we spoke about earlier on, which is equivalent to the first year of your degree, has a slightly lower English grade. So if you are concerned about your English, 5.5, not so scary as perhaps the IELTS level 6 that you would need for that direct entry. And what's even better right now, you can see the tests on your screen there, IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson. We are also accepting the online versions of these because we understand in a lot of countries right now, it's difficult with lockdowns and restrictions to get out to test centers. So if you want to take an online version, absolutely fine, and you can go for that. And we are also accepting another test, which is called Phoenix. Phoenix is another online exam. You get your results within 48 hours, so it's a very efficient turnaround time. And what's better is that we are covering the cost of that test if you take it, get the grades, and choose to come and study with us. So we will reimburse the fee of that English test, so you don't have to worry about the cost when you are applying. And then for the academic requirements, depending on whether you've taken an international qualification or if you are studying the local curriculum there in Mexico, you can see what we're typically after. So in the bachillerato, sorry, that's terrible pronunciation from me there, but in your local high school curriculum, you can see that we would be looking for a 7 on average in your academic subjects to get entry to that diploma program that we've spoken about. And then at postgraduate level, the entry requirements are pretty much the same. Typically, we're just looking for a successful completion of a bachelor's degree, a recognized bachelor's degree from another university. Okay, getting close to the end now. So thank you for staying with us this long and taking in a lot of the key information. But one of the most important things I think about studying in Dubai relates to the low cost of the tuition. So you can see here on the screen, the typical cost for the diploma program, which is the first year of your degree, is usually around 14,000 US dollars. But we are offering any student that comes into this course an automatic 50% scholarship. It doesn't matter what grade you have, as long as you meet the entry requirements, you are guaranteed to get that 50% scholarship, which means the first year of your course is going to cost just 7,000 US dollars. Now, if you compare that to the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, again, this is much more affordable. And then into the second and third year, again, the usual cost would be around 14,000 per year, but we are offering scholarships worth up to 40% for your second and third year, which means it could come down to as little as around 8,000 US dollars per year. So a very affordable tuition cost. I think one of the big concerns for students is around the cost of living in Dubai. I think some people think it's quite glamorous and quite luxurious, and that can certainly be the case. But if you're quite clever about it, there's a lot of savings to be made. And when you combine it with the lower tuition costs, it's definitely not as bad as you think. And I would say it's probably on a similar level to somewhere like London, or maybe even slightly less, because I came from the UK and I can say it's probably not as bad as that. And you can see the criteria needed for the scholarships into your second and third year that I mentioned. So again, somewhere between 15 and 40% would be available. So the key message is that there's a lot of financial support to help you with your studies with us, including a range of other discounts like early bird discounts, for example. So if you are interested in studying with us this September, if you were to apply and accept your place before the 3rd of August, then you would get yourself an additional 5% discount on top of any of the other scholarships that we've just spoken about. Okay, so this is actually the final thing now that I want to talk about. I touched upon it at the start of the presentation, and that was regarding the range of career support that we're offering to students. And it goes back to that question about, can you 100% guarantee me a job after our studies? And of course, we can't sit here and 100% guarantee that, but what we can say is that if you are taking advantage of the range of resources and services available to you at the campus, then we will do our very best to get you where you want to be. So we've just launched a new careers platform at the university. So all of our students have access to this. I think we have around sort of 300 to 400 companies registered on here at this time. We're often hosting a lot of events on campus as well. So like industry panels, networking events. So it's all about putting you into the right situation to make those kind of key contacts and network and so on. We're also about to launch a new employability hub on our campus called Murdoch Aspire. So this is somewhere that you can come to, meet up with our counselors, and actually get some support on applying for jobs, networking skills, how to conduct yourself in an interview. So all of these real world skills that you need that you can use to supplement your subject knowledge so that when you do graduate, you are in the best possible position to kind of get that all-important job. And where our campus is located now in Dubai, you know, it's a central hub of huge global organizations like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Samsung, these guys, Apple, all surround the campus. So you're coming to campus every day and you've got these fantastic organizations just on your doorstep as well. And a lot of our graduates have gone on to be very successful in these areas as well. Okay, so I said I would only speak for around 30 minutes today. So that's the key points that I wanted to share with you. So we've covered a little bit of information about the programs that we offer, the fantastic scholarships to go alongside that, the very relaxed process when it comes to applying and securing your student visa, and hopefully the support that we're going to give you to get that all-important job once you have graduated. But of course, if you have any questions after today's session and after viewing today's video, please feel free to reach out to us, or of course to our partner at GLED, who will be very happy to help and assist you with any questions that you have as well. But otherwise, I think I'll hand back over now, and thank you again for taking the time to watch today's session, and hopefully we'll be able to welcome some of you to Murdoch Dubai in the future.
Thank you, Bradley. It's an amazing option. I'm already in love with Murdoch University. I already want to go there, and I'm sure that a lot of students and parents will think the same, no? I just have one question here. If a student wants to transfer credits from Dubai to Australia, when can they do that?
So actually, it's up to the student, but we would usually ask them to study at least 1 year with us to begin with. And then after that first year, you can then transfer over. And actually, that's probably the more popular option, because if you do at least 2 years in Australia, then you would qualify for the post-study work visa opportunity that they offer. So yeah, 1 year with us and then 2 years over there is probably the best option.
Amazing. Okay, and what about the deadlines? If a student wants to start in September, can they still right now apply? And there's availability?
100%, yeah. So our classes start on the 5th of September. We have an early bird deadline, which is the 3rd of August. So if you are thinking about applying, definitely get your application submitted before that date. But if you happen to apply after the 3rd of August, there will still be places available, but it's just the 5% early bird discount wouldn't be available after that. But actually, we can actually accept students right up until the classes begin, but we just need to factor in the visa application. So allowing at least kind of 10 to 15 days to get that visa process would be ideal. But yeah, we're very, very flexible, and please do approach us if you are interested for September, and we'll do our very best to get you in.
Perfect, thank you. I was checking if we have more questions, but apparently everything was really clear. But okay, and I also have to ask you, you said that that the second safest country is the UAE, no? But what about the first one? You said, is it New Zealand? Do I get extra points or something?
Unfortunately not, no. I think New Zealand was up there, but actually in the report that I was looking at, #1 was actually Iceland.
Okay.
So, yeah, actually quite a few of the Scandinavian and Nordic countries made an appearance. So Iceland, Finland, Norway, these were all in the top 10. But yes, the UAE was straight in there at #2. So I think we're in some very good company there. Wow.
Okay. So I learned something new today. Thank you so much. And before we say goodbye, I just want to say like a brief summary in Spanish. So if the people who are joining us want to have just like the best of today's presentation. Solo quiero resumir en algunos puntos lo que nuestro compañero Bradley nos comentó el día de hoy. Nos habló acerca de la Universidad de Murdoch en Dubái, y pues nos cuenta que prácticamente allá la vida ya es normal, ¿no? Se han tomado muy buenas medidas con respecto al COVID, entonces si alguien planea viajar para septiembre, pues prepárese para una vida prácticamente normal, ¿no? Nos comentaban que el deadline para aplicar para septiembre es el 3 de agosto, así que aún tenemos tiempo También nos comentaba que el trámite de visa es realmente muy sencillo, ¿no? A diferencia de otros países donde o no hay citas o no han abierto ciertas dependencias, aquí es muy sencillo, muy pocos documentos y te apoyan con todo el proceso, ¿no? Que realmente a estas alturas es una gran ventaja, ¿no? También hablaba de los precios son súper accesibles, desde $6,000 americanos por un año, y ya para el siguiente, el año 2, podemos decirle así, es a partir como de $8,000 americanos, que si sacan la conversión realmente comparado con lo que cuestan aquí algunas universidades en México, realmente es muy accesible, ¿no? También nos comentaba que es el segundo país más seguro ahorita. También, si quieres tú, por ejemplo, es empezar tu carrera en Dubái y posteriormente transferir tus créditos a Australia, también es posible. Y que también la admisión es muy sencilla. Requisitos académicos, promedio mínimo de 7 y un nivel de inglés de 5.5 en IELTS, si no me equivoco. Entonces, realmente el aplicar, el viajar, el trámite de visa, el costo es realmente muy, muy accesible, ¿no? También mencionaba ahí que luego la duda más frecuente es como, ok, a lo mejor el precio de colegiatura suena muy atractivo, pero ¿qué tal la vida allá? Igual nos comentaba que hay precios especiales para estudiantes en el transporte, en muchas cuestiones que realmente a la hora de sacar los costos te sale como vivir, nos comentaba como en Londres, ¿no? Que es una ciudad cara, sí, pero también tiene sus maneras de ahorrar y pues bueno, ciudad de primer mundo, súper segura, la segunda ciudad más segura del mundo, ¿no? De aquí me voy a regresar con Bradley, solo para despedirnos, agradecerle por su tiempo y la presentación del día de hoy. Bradley, thank you very much for your time today. It was an amazing presentation. I really hope that students and parents really fall in love with Murdoch University as we have fallen in love, because I think it's a great university, great option, especially in today's times, no? That you have a lot of everything is easier, no? If you want to go to Dubai, visa is easy, prices are affordable, you still have availability. So I think this is a great option, and I really hope that we have a lot of students joining Murdoch University in September.
Great, thank you so much. Thanks again for having me.
No, thanks to you. Pues muchas gracias a todos, agradecemos por su tiempo. Cualquier duda que tengan, estaremos aquí en nuestro canal de YouTube. Igualmente tienen nuestro correo, que el correo oficial, podemos decir de G, y es academic@gled.co, que igual al final se los pondremos abajo por si alguien tiene alguna duda, nos pueda contactar en este correo, ¿no? Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you very much, Bradley, and have a great day. Tengan un buen día a todos. Gracias, Bradley.